Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Rawkode Live. This is episode 3 of the series, I guess, Klustered, a show where we give perfectly functioning and working Kubernetes clusters to members of the community and ask them to break them, with the intention of me and a friend joining me to try and fix them as best as we can. Now, before we get started, I would please encourage you all to subscribe and click the bell on YouTube. This helps other people find this content. And the YouTube algorithms need a little bit of nudge to show people that this is good TV. And finally, there is a Discord channel where you can come and participate in the chat. We're also giving away a Klustered t-shirt today. So you've got about 1 hour to join a Klustered channel and register or enter the draw by clicking that little emoji guy on the post. So please do that. Now, today I am joined by Michael from AWS. We're going to do our best to fix these broken clusters. Would you like to just give us a quick introduction about yourself, and then we'll take it from there?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Dave. That's really a big honor. And yeah, I'm excited. I don't know quite what to expect. I watched the previous installment, so I have some idea, but I also saw the messages on Twitter and I was like, oh, I'm really scared. So yeah, now I'm just excited. Let's get into that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, there's I don't want to say infinite number of ways to break a clusters, but there's a lot of ways that someone can break these clusters, and I think we've seen a very good variety so far, and I think there's so much more that we can be put up against. But I'm glad you're here because you have a wealth of Kubernetes experience there that I'm hoping we can tap into and share some of that knowledge with the people that are viewing and joining in from home too.
All right. Cool.
So let me share my screen. So one of the things we want these episodes not just to be entertaining, but to also help other people. So there is a clustered repository on gitlab.com. We add little reports that show kind of what went wrong. You feel free to read through these. Sometimes there's a lot of detail here that really show what was done to the cluster, the best way to fix it. So hopefully this is a valuable resource moving forward as well. But of course, there are no readmes, there are no postmortems for the 2 clusters that we're working with today. So our first cluster is cluster 003. This is by Justin Garrison, who has, I don't know if kindly broken it is the right word, but, you know, has dedicated some of their time to break this for us. And we're going to do our best to fix it. The way that we're going to do that is by hopefully lots of communication. And one of my favorite projects, Teleport. We both have access to Teleport here, meaning we can and hopefully can click connect, join as root, have an SSH session that we share, and verbalize as much of our thoughts as possible. So normally the first thing I would do is jump into this directory here. This is the tooling that I use to prepare all of the clusters. And there's a kubeconfig here. And I always like to run a get nodes and see what happens. Should we try that first?
Sure.
Is that the first thing you would do? Have you got any special tricks, any commands you prefer?
I usually, as a first step, look at version. So, you know, just kubectl version. Just to have an idea, you know, am I on a 1.15 cluster or 1.20 or whatever? So, okay, that's something.
Well, at least we have our first problem.
That's very nice. Yes. Cool. I also usually look around in terms of, you know, CRDs and stuff like that. But you know, kubectl get nodes is also a good way to see coming from the infrastructure perspective.
Well, that's not going to work then, is it? I don't think, based on the certificate error. Yeah,
probably not. But,
so it looks like our certificate has expired. We cannot speak to the API server. As per, we're going to have to just get onto the box. So let's get this teleport session available.
Right.
Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Now, you want to just type something? Let's make sure we've got a working pairing set up.
Okay.
Did you click connect or did you go to join session?
I am on 003. I am on that session. I'm still in there. Maybe I need to reconnect.
You've got a different session. I'll join yours.
Okay, let me.
It's okay.
Okay.
Let me close this
Cool.
one.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're now here. Echo. Well,
Yep.
I don't need to actually fix that and type it. But all right. Well, what do you want to do first?
So all that we know so far is that we can't talk to the control plane, right? And what we've done now, we have SSH'd into one of the nodes where control plane components are located, right? That's what we did, right? With the SSH.
I just seen a comment from Justin saying he was as kind as possible, which is not filling me with any confidence
No,
whatsoever.
No, not at all. So we are now in that session that we see on the screen. We are on a control plane node, right?
We are on a control plane node. That is correct.
Right. So why don't we just have a look around what is running there? So PS and then looking for control plane components like
I normally look for the API server first.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. So it's there.
It is there. Yeah, we do have an API server.
Yes. We see what we would expect there, right? All the things.
I love how calm you are. Like inside my head, I am screaming already, and you're just so collected.
The thing is, I'm looking at the tiny screen on our internal one rather than on the big one. So if I increase the font size, then we're literally on the same, right? Yeah, so I shouldn't be doing that. Sorry. Okay. Cool. So what do we see here? Okay. Anything that stands out for you? I haven't.
Well, we did see that the cert had expired, and Justin's jumped in just to say that because we're using teleport, there is no MOTD. That is correct. So let's run MOTD.
Okay.
Oh, why is my thing being a bit weird? Oh, that's not a command.
So we need to.
I'm just going to reload this. My session's been a bit funny. There we go. There should be an MOTD file, right? Yeah, there we go. Help. So I can't get the cluster to work. I have tried running, trying to deploy some Kubernetes example,
Right.
and then exposing it. And then there's another problem, can't resolve DNS.
Right. But given that we have not yet access to the API server, there is really no point, right? I mean, that's once we have fixed the access to the API server.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to take a look at these certs and see if we can see what the expiration time on them is. And then let me just move that up. I can see that it's kind of clipping on the stream. So, do you want to drive then? We'll go take a look at these certs.
Oh, go ahead. That's fine. I'm trying to assess how evil Justin might be. What beyond the obvious could be there?
Yeah. So we have this inside etc. Kubernetes. We have the PKI folder. This is where I would expect to find all of the certs. Now, the API server is probably the one we want to kind of inspect. I can never, ever remember the OpenSSL commands to query it. Do you know it, or should I pop open a quick Google?
Yes, we have to look that up. I don't know that off the top of my head. It's either in my history, or I have some cheat sheet somewhere. I don't remember these things.
Looks like paste is a bit funny. Let's try one more time and I'll type it manually. Yeah, that's not working. Okay, so it's OpenSSL x509. Oh no, it is pasting. It's just the file doesn't exist. I'm just being really silly. All right, now we want to take a look at the API server key, I believe. Nope, that is not our trusted certificate. Let's try this there. All right, there we go. Our certificate expired. Oh, he's timed it well. He's had it expire right before.
Yeah. Nice. Nicely done. Thank you.
So we're going to have to renew this certificate.
Nice.
How do we do that? OpenSSL. I wish it was just, is there a cheat sheet? That's what we need. There we go. I always, like, when I kind of came up with the idea for this show, I always said to anyone that I mentioned it to, I really hope people don't mess with the certificates. It's like the one thing. You just, I mean, nobody ever remembers this.
What people really heard was messing with the certificate. Gotcha. I have you covered. I'm gonna mess with the certificate.
So we don't want to generate a new key. No. We just want to. Okay.
It's not super unlikely, right? These things happen, right? I mean, it's not totally, made up. So.
So we're getting lots of, I mean, the chat's hard to keep up with, but Justin has dropped us a wee hint. Maybe I don't need to renew this after all, because he just left us one liner and yeah. Oh, he did. Very kind of him.
That's a good question. Are they expired on all control plane nodes?
Yeah, that came in from Duffie. Yeah, we should probably have to check that as well. So I think Justin's been very kind to us. There is this .api server.crt. I mean, I could just blatantly copy that over the top and hope. But we do have that OpenSSL command that we check the expiration date. So
why not? Yeah, why don't we check that first?
OpenSSL. And run it against the dot version and see if that's a better date. Ah, you're far too kind. Okay.
I was just, reading from the left, like February 18, like you, and then 22. Okay, we're good.
All right, so we could just
thank you very much.
That's. I'm glad I didn't have to try and remember those commands. So. So now that we have replaced, we had a broken cert. We've replaced it. We just have to restart the API server. Is that all I have to do?
I'm trying to catch up with the... Yes.
So we can just... In fact, well, I don't know. Maybe the kubelet's already restarted it when the cert changed. I'm not sure. So we can always just restart the kubelet. Oh, there's a key too. Thanks, Justin. We need to move API server.key to API server.key. All right, let's restart the kubelet and hope for the best. Yes, he was very kind, but that just means that the main problem he wants us to fix isn't the stairs. Yeah. We still got two more things. Exactly. Yeah. All right, now we're on a control plane node. That means we have access to /Kubernetes/etc/Kubernetes admin.conf. If our API server is working, I would expect this to be able to run get nodes now. Computer still says no. Did our API server restart? Let's just check.
No.
No, that hasn't restarted, has it? March 3rd. Okay, my favorite command, kill 9.
Sure. Why not using a sledgehammer? That always helps.
I could have said a stick up, I guess,
No,
but like. So the kubelet should detect that missing is a static manifest. It should be restarted automatically. Let's run a rewatch on this in one. And hopefully that goes back up. I've never killed -9 the API server before, so I'm hoping there was no other... I hope that wasn't too harsh. We also got a comment. So, yeah, kubedm init phase search API server would have, I believe, reprovisioned or regenerated the certs. I believe if we had done that, we'd probably have to do it across all the nodes. I'm assuming we maybe won't have to do that by using the ones that were preferred. Thanks. My accent is kind of Scottish and kind of not. That kind of worried me there. Where's my API server, Michael? It didn't come back.
Right.
Okay, so...
Oh, the hint there, also Duffie mentioned it, right? You need to move the manifest API server out and then in again, and then put it back again.
But we restarted the kubelet.
But apparently the static pod is not picked up if it's not moved out and in again. So if you go to like...
Oh yeah, the comments seem pretty... Everybody is yelling that, so I will just do as I'm told. Okay, so I think that's interesting then. I assumed restarting the kubelet would have checked to make sure that all the static manifests were running, and it would appear that that's not the case. So that was just a silly assumption on my part. So,
well, it's a valuable insight, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I've moved it back in, and now we do the wait. I'm not very good at the waiting stage.
Justin says, is the kubelet running? I didn't touch it, but we can check.
We do have a kubelet, yes. It was restarted a few moments ago, which is what we expect.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely would have...
Shall we check the API server?
Adrian's just went, I've broken it more. Yeah, I mean, that's always... I was actually more worried about copying the key on top of the cert or the cert on top of the key or messing up something when I was restoring the certs. But I think I got that okay. So I'm not sure what the problem is going to be right now. Like, run more. Okay, it's definitely not coming back. So... I need to stop watching the comments and focus on fixing this. But just like this isn't part of the plan. No, it's not part of my plan either. Right. Let's get this API server back up and running. A restart of the kubelet should check all the static manifests are running. We have even removed the manifest. So let's try one more thing before we go into panic. Before I go into panic mode. Sorry, you're pretty cool. I'm going to move this out, restart the kubelet, and then drop it back in, just to see if we can kind of tick things along a little bit here. So
just said this wasn't part of the plan.
All right.
No, Ian, no worries. We said 40 minutes each, so no matter what, after 40 minutes we switch over. And it looks like we're gonna spend the first 40 minutes in the API server, so that's something. All right, where are we?
We're not going to split this over two because we're very lucky and that we have all of Honk and Justin joining us in the comments. We will just really leverage any help if we start to run out of time.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's.
Kubernetes is a team sport, right? I mean, that's clearly like you don't want to go walk alone. So moving it back.
I've moved it back, and now I'm trying to work out whether I want to restart the kubelet one more time or just kind of see if it's going to detect that. Now we could always pull up the logs, right? So let's do. In fact, we should have done this sooner. Let's see what the kubelet is actually dropping into our terminal here. So it's not finding the node. Potentially messing with the certs is a little bit more dangerous than we expect. Messing with the certs. Never do that. So the kubelet is trying to speak to the API server. The API server is not there. The problem was not to kill 9 Adrian. Come on. We've all kill 9'd a few processes before. All right. The problem could be that we just need to do the certs on all of these. So I'm going to quickly jump on to the other 2 control plane nodes. Let's just check the certs, see if we got the same thing. Let's see if we can get something online here. So PKI, do we have dot files? We do. Okay, so cert on top of cert. And key on top of key. And API server. Okay. Should we know the number for SIGHUP? I'll do this. I'll do it a bit more gently this time. Can I just do sig? I can't remember if there's a dash flag for doing that, but let's see. Yeah. SIGHUP number. 1. Got it. Okay. Kill 1. And the process isn't there anymore. So it looks like it was restarted this time. Yeah. Okay. So control plane node 2 seems to be coming together a bit better. Let's do this one. Let's go back into our PKI directory. We've got one more .cert to put over .cert and one more .key to put over. Oh, I copied. I panicked there so much. Right. Okay. I was like, don't do that thing you just said you weren't going to do. PS AUX. And I'm going to monitor this one as well to see if this is auto restarted. So this was started 31 minutes ago. Nope. Okay, let's do kill 1 and process. Okay, so that should be a SIGHUP here. It's been up for 3 seconds. Okay. Now let's come back onto this one. This is the one where nothing worked. Grep and still nothing. All right, we can ignore that one for now. Do you want to join a session on K67?
K67, yep, coming.
And we'll see if I'll just reload it. It's really weird. Like when it must be a bug. I don't know if it's Firefox or something else. Okay, Kubernetes admin.conf get nodes. Haha. Okay. Cool. So I possibly
that's the one that is
I possibly broking that one. I'm not sure how I've managed it. I'm not sure what's going on with that static manifest, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Do we have the MOTD on all the machines? Okay, we do. So let's just work from this one.
Sorry.
You need to pass in. We should alias. Let me do alias k equals kube control dash dash kube config, and I'll just save us a lot of pain. Version.
Oh,
there we go.
Sorry, I remembered 1.20 that was from your machine locally. All good. I thought maybe he has messed with that as well. Okay, cool. Cool.
So we should tackle problem 1 first, right? Let's see if we can work this in order. So it says that they've tried to do an apply of this Kubernetes deployment. So should we, and that's probably worked, but they've tried to expose it and that hasn't worked. So if we run a get pods, we actually do have the deployment. So here's nginx.
Can we quickly, before we do that, do just a really wide look? Oh, okay. There is something. Okay. That's maybe a little bit. I like to do get all -a, meaning across all namespaces, to get a like wide look to see what's running across everything. Just to have a bit of a feeling, okay, using Cilium here, even Hubble is installed, the WordPress and other things. So one of the things, like, just looking around a little bit to see if anything, stands out. Okay.
So when I did the MOTD and it says it's expecting a load balancer, I'm assuming then that the problem is this pending what they want us to debug?
Yeah, let's describe the Nginx deployment. Okay. No events, no nothing.
Looks pretty standard.
Right. And the service?
Yeah. SVC, Nginx deployment.
Location field. All right. So we have in the events a message that the metal LB controller is unhappy. So let's have a look at the metal LB controller. What do we have?
Yeah, metal LB
system. Metal LB system namespace. So let's use that, right? Config use. Is it? I don't have that. Config use. Oh, without all these plugins, I'm really.
Well, we have our alias, so why don't we just do this, and then for the sake of not remembering how to use that thing, we can just do metal LB system. So now your case should be there. So there you go. Fire away.
Cool. So, shall we have? So, what is the controller using the deployment here, right? Are we in the?
So we have a speaker daemon set and a controller deployment. Our controller deployment is failing because of a node affinity.
Oh, we are not in the metal. So get context essentially lists all the context there, right? And we are currently, as you can see here, not in the metal. So
we are. I just changed the alias to pass in the namespace rather than update the context.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot that you prefer sledgehammers. Okay. So what I tried to figure out was what the owner of. So you did get pods, right? So we have these pods, right?
Yes.
And I wanted to see who owns these pods. Is it? I'm not that familiar with metal LB. Is it used?
So the speaker is a daemon set, and the controller is a deployment called controller.
Okay, so if you say it's controller here, right?
Yeah, and I think it's got affinity that it doesn't want scheduled together, which is why we're seeing so many of them failing to schedule.
These are nice messages.
Given I'm pretty familiar with running Kubernetes on Equinix Metal, I think the node affinity on a controller is potentially a red herring. What I want to confirm is that our CCM is actually running, which is what would be requesting the Elastic IP from Equinix Metal.
Right, but you're essentially, you know already, like, but how do you get there, right? How do you get from seeing that message in service, right? What the message we saw in the service that says, okay, the metal LB controller has some issue. Jumping to the conclusion that you just did, I guess that's maybe useful for people to see, right? How did you get there? How did you, besides that you know it? Right?
Yeah, so like when I see this, I think, yeah, the node affinity is a problem, but we do have one running controller. So my thought process is like, I'm actually not that worried about that. The speakers are okay. The error that we've seen when we described the service, sorry, I'm going to have to retweak our alias, my sledgehammer, sorry. So I can just get that back. So if we describe our service, which we know is failing, it says it can't get an IP address. Now, the thing that is responsible for getting an IP address here for our load balancer service is the Cloud Controller Manager. So my hypothesis is he's removed our Cloud Controller Manager or broken it in some way.
Well, then let's check if that...
So we should see our Packet Cloud Controller Manager running here.
Yep.
And it's been running for 14 days. I was kind of hoping to see that.
Well, let's have a look at the logs, right? Let's have a look at the logs. If there is anything in the logs of the Packet Cloud Controller Manager.
Yeah, maybe we should do it. I've Control-C'd it, but we'll need to give it a second, I think.
Right.
I was going to add a sense to it. So when is that from? That's from today. Okay, so okay. So the API token that our Cloud Controller Manager is using to speak to the cloud provider API to get us an elastic IP is now unauthenticated.
Right. So we have the line here that there is an invalid authentication token there, right?
Yes.
But the controller tries to speak with the Packet API, and so something in the controller.
There should be a config map in the kube system namespace that has the details that we need for that to work.
Now we could theoretically get into etcd and retrieve. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's where does that config map come from? Like, how do you create it? I'm not that familiar with.
Yeah, so I think we can just recreate it manually. Now, this is where Justin doesn't know the setup, and I do, and this is actually more painful than I actually wanted it to be because, as much as I trust the people I give these clusters to, I don't trust them.
No, don't trust them.
So there's project keys for each. But let's just check. Maybe, in fact, yeah, Walid, I think you and I just had the same idea at the same time there. Is that it's not actually a config map, it's a secret, isn't it? So, yeah, there is a packet cloud config.
Right.
So,
but it's also 14 days old, right? There's nothing changed there.
That is true.
But yeah.
Justin, do you want to confirm that we're working on the right problem here, and I'm not working on something that isn't relevant? Before I go flashing the off token from this config anyway, and then trying to fix something that isn't actually correct. But we looked at the CCM logs. We know that it's trying to request an EIP and it can't.
Right.
The authentication is the problem. This config map, this secret, sorry, feels to me like we're looking in the right place. But you're right. The 14 days on it is when I wonder if he's just modified the time in etcd. I wonder if he's been that sneaky.
So, Justin confirmed it's a missing token, right? But somehow I think it has not much to do with that secret here. I mean, given that it hasn't been touched.
What if he modified the CCM deployment and then changed the configuration?
You think he's that sneaky? Yeah, let's have a look at the deployment. That's, I think, yeah. He may be mean, but he's not, like, cruel.
14 days as well. And he's also... No. I know we're pushing our 40-minute mark here, right? So thank you for the tips, Justin. But he said he's surprised the secret doesn't say it was modified and edited. That's probably a bug. So I
hope we found a bug. That would be awesome.
So this secret has been modified. Let's fix it, right? So we can do edit secret, and I don't mind flashing this. This token is not going to live much more than this episode anyway. Right. So edit secrets. This. There is my token cloud-sa.json.
Well, no, it's not a bug because what the list view does, it shows the creation timestamp and not the last modified.
Last modified one. That's right.
Right.
So is cloud-sa.json, is that what we're looking for? Let's check kube system, edit, deploy, packet, cloud, CCM. Oh, what was it? Packet, cloud, let's just run get deploys again. I'm not going to remember. Okay.
Packet cloud control manager.
Edit, deploy. Yeah, and I'll just copy and paste. All right, so what secret is this trying to bring in? Secret. So that's just the
packet cloud config.
Yep. Packet cloud config. Yeah, that's the right name. It's not specifying subkeys, so let's just go to the volume mount. Aha. So we can just add .json.
Okay.
Get deploy. Is that restarted yet? Get pod.
Probably need to, yeah.
Oh, no, I
crashed. Nice. Nice. Don't we all love to see crash loop backups?
I thought I got that okay. Hold on. Volume.
It looked good. Did you store? Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the mount path. This is wrong.
.json.
Yeah, .json.
Yeah.
No, that's the volume name. I'm not going to save that. Volume mount. Okay, let's revert this so that I've not touched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mount path is to a directory called Cloud SA. That is the name of the volume, isn't it? Yeah. So the file name that the CCM is expecting is. All right, let's get the logs again. I feel like we're missing something here.
Yeah, what are we missing?
Since 10M. Invalid authentication token. Now, he might have just changed the path. I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm going to...
So Justin just said he deleted data.token from the secret. So let's get to the secret. Right?
I've ever told you how much I hate this show.
We're all together in it. No worries.
So is this just supposed to be called token? I'm going to check another one. Oh, I don't know. I can't do that. I don't have one handy, except for the other broken one. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what.
Where does the CCM live? There we go.
Is there a...
Where's the secret? I'll just check the code, because I'm going to drive myself around in circles here. Yeah, so mounted to Cloud SA. Does this have an example kind secret? Nope. Right, let's grab this. That looks fine.
Duffie unbase 64 watt. The value of Cloud SA JSON? Marcus has a nice suggestion.
Okay. All right, let's tackle his second problem.
Okay, so we theoretically have an answer for the third one, right? So that's something.
Problem 2 is
What is
there's no DNS. Yeah, okay, so Justin changed the token. Yeah, that's what I was trying to alluding to when I said that I'm aware of the setup and you're not, but I used very specific tokens for each project, and then
okay.
Dropping that back in a little bit more difficult than I'd actually like it to be. Anyway.
How are we doing time-wise? You said...
Yeah, we'll give... Let's see if we can fix this next problem in 5 minutes and then move on to the other cluster.
Yeah, let's time box that. That makes sense. Yeah.
So there's no DNS inside the cluster.
Let me jump on this.
They want us to run this command.
Which one are you? Okay.
And I need to use K so I get the token. We have a command prompt and then do dig Kubernetes. And we didn't get a response. So our cluster DNS is using the correct IP address, it looks like, for internal DNS, but not resolving. So what's step 1 here then, Michael?
Sorry, I tried to get onto that session, but somehow it's disconnected.
Are we not in the same session? Oh, okay.
IKF, I thought, but if I say join here, then it says... now I am. Right. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
It's
for that weird bug.
KF, right?
I'll just reload. Okay.
Yes.
So,
that's one. Cool.
We got a hint.
Okay.
So let's use the hint since we're time boxed here to take a look at the resolve.conf. Default svc cluster.local svc.
What's that name server here?
I'm pretty sure that's the kubedns service IP. Yeah.
Good. Okay. But
it looks okay, the resolve.conf. Let's go back in the container. Let's try doing a dig at 172. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing anyway. This could just be an ndots problem. Kubernetes.svc. Cluster. Local. Default. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah, I think the n.5. I think that was the default. I don't know. Cluster DNS worked though. Just not with the dots. Let's change. Get. I don't know. I think Justin. Sorry, a comment flew past there. That's not what I had. Haha. I don't know why it's broken. Again, I really hate this show. Okay. Edit core DNS config map. CM. There's no n.dots configuration in here. All right, let's see.
Duffie says it's not ndots. Okay. And Brent says, look at the search again. I am assuming the dig here. Yeah. So what have we got? Anything that stands out? Okay, Justin said he changed resolve.conf on the worker nodes and updated the kubelet config map to use my modified resolve.conf. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. It's interesting. Cool, but we're kind of like, we can't really reproduce the error or the actual brokenness, if that's an English word.
I don't know. I was so sure we were going to do really well today that I brought myself a victory beer that I don't think I'm going to get to drink anymore.
Nice. Well,
all right.
I would say I think that was fun and we learned something. How about we prepare ourselves for a little bit more pain?
Yeah, let's jump onto Cluster 2. We want to make sure we, allocate enough time to both. Justin has a repository with an Ansible playbook that he used to break this. We'll also do the write-up and the post-mortem. So I think we got the first issue, we got the certs fixed. Thank you for leaving nice working certs in that directory. The second one was the API token, which we could fix, but I can't get an API token right now. And then the third one is the DNS. I'm not entirely sure what's broken. I'm really surprised to see that a dig.kup, like a fully resolved name works, but not with the fluffy match. I don't even know if that's a technical term, but that's now what I'm always going to call it. Not sure why that's working. I'm looking forward to seeing the Ansible playbook. You have us beat, Justin. Well done.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to cluster number 2, which is 006, broken by Team Sig Honk. All right, so
what did we say there? We first need to...
Well, I'm worried. We have our teleport screen, which is only listing our worker nodes.
Right.
No control plane nodes. So
no control plane nodes, yeah.
Let me grab an IP address for one of these control plane nodes. I have a terminal here. Let's export the kube config. I'm going to run a get nodes and just hope that it works, but it's not looking good. No. Okay. You'll need to use the broadcast view.
Wait.
Oh wait, that did work.
Are you sure that you're in the right? Oh yeah, 06. Yeah. I remember that one, like being in the right directory for the right cluster, right? That's a gotcha. But why is that really? Let me double check. Is that really? Yeah, no, those are actually everything is ready. That's too nice. I almost don't believe it.
All right. Well, we have an issue report.
Okay.
And a root directory. Hi admins, I can see from kube control get pods-a there are pods and things running on the control plane nodes, but when I SSH in, I can't see anything running. Signed, a confused goose.
Maybe Specsavers, if you can't see. That only works in the UK. Yeah. All right. So what have we got here? There are some really nice RU contained binaries. Are you familiar with RU contained?
I am a little bit, yes.
Okay.
Has our SSH process been replaced? I feel like I want to go into the proc and start digging around.
You know what? If sick Honk has replaced that one, then we're really screwed. We have pretty much no chance to. No, that's so that's your hypothesis. You think that the SSH daemon is not what we think it is.
I mean,
Is that your?
I don't know.
Do you think? Like I'm
look,
pretty
there we
sure.
go. Our root file system is an overlay file system. This SSH is not taking us into the host. Because our root file system is an overlay. We've got C groups leaking through. Yeah, this is interesting. Let's run a PSWW. That should give us it without cutting anything off. So there's our SSHD binary.
Right.
Which doesn't look right either. And there's our... Yeah, we're... I'm not really sure I know where to start with this one. How do we get out of this container? Well, we can do that, right? Because our kube control worked. So we can get on the host with a privileged pod and fix SSH.
Well, let's give it a try. Why not? Yeah. If that is your hypothesis, let's check it.
Oh, do you agree with me? Do you have something else?
Yeah, no, that like I haven't seen anything.
Well, we can run get pods, we can run get nodes. Our control plane is fine. Obviously, SSH didn't work. Like we were in a container. They've got themselves access to the host, replaced SSH. Right. So I think if we just run a privileged container, get onto the host, try and fix SSH.
Right. I would say let's give it a try, but I'm wondering if they really are that nice to us. But let's give it a try. Why not? Yeah.
Okay, so let's get a deployment YAML. If we're going on the wrong path, Honk, please interject. Help us out.
Yeah. Give us a little bit of feedback if we are working in the right direction or not. That would be
we create a deployment.
I know.
We can spec this out. I'm not really caring what it's called. I don't even care what image we particularly run. Let's just do it. Let's just do it Alpine.
Duffie just gave us a hint saying proxy your service and take a peek. Yeah, why not? That's a low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Shall we do that? Yeah.
So pass our SSH agent through to one of the worker nodes and use that to get onto one of the other machines. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, that would work. I mean, I think the plan of running a privileged container and using that to get onto the host is more fun, but that would involve me having
another hint. Check your deployment. We need to see that WordPress site. Okay. Right. 6 days.
Port forward.
Yeah, that's the cluster IP. Oh no,
I used the external IP, but
yeah, it's just forward.
I can't remember if I actually set up working ingress anyway. So.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Honk.
We have been
always a pleasure.
We have been honked. Okay, so you had your fun. Thank you very much. I'm kind of like trusting in Duffie here, kind of like he was just messing with us. That was awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so we can
Good thing shall be paid forward. That's fine.
let's see if our workers are affected. I'm assuming with the fact that they're listed and teleport means they're system D and stuff. Okay, how do I put through my SS agent again, or how do I proxy through a machine? I can never remember the flags for this.
Wow.
Forward agent.
No, minus T, was it? No. Can't remember.
What's the flag? Oh, we could just do forward agent. There must be a flag for that though.
Scroll up again.
All right, thanks for the hint, Duffie. So if we go back into this is our. I just want to make sure it's still the broken one. No, that was the other one. Is that the broken one? Yeah. Duffie suggested using a different port number. Oh, is it a small p? Yeah.
Okay.
Phew. Okay. Okay, we're on the host. I'm going to... they disabled my thing. Okay. Let's get us back onto our shared terminal. Ta-da! Okay, we have our control plane node.
Okay. All right.
You should be able to join the session. It's going to break my screen. Maybe. Oh.
Let's see. Did it break anything?
No, it's still working.
Looks like it works. Okay. What creates pod objects? Well, a lot of things create pod objects, right? Replication controllers or replica sets. Well, let's have a look.
Oh, sorry. I'll lay off the typing. You'll need to set an alias for K though.
Of course. I can put.
And then ---- kubeconfig / etc Kubernetes admin.
I have that somewhere.
Do you want me to do you got it.
Yeah, if you have it somewhere. Setting everything.
I'm getting really good at typing this one line. Oh, does it need?
Yeah, you need. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So.
It's done its weird thing.
Okay. This is okay. And replica sets. So there is one that's so something changed there, right?
So
6 days ago versus 45 hours.
It looks like they scaled down my replica set and then spun up their own replica set with a desired one, which must be our broken one. Can you do a get replica sets?
What just did?
Yeah, just that.
Ah. Okay. Replica set.
I just do a get RS. Just set return. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that was already it. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's. Can we just delete their one and scale up our old one? Like that would be a thing.
Well, if the deployment that owns that replica set hasn't been tampered with, then one only lives once.
Yeah, sledgehammer it. Come on, embrace Team Sledgehammer.
Yeah, why not, right? Do I have to do? Yeah, I do have to do copy paste here, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So Kubernetes admin cannot delete replica sets. Nice, thanks. So should we check our RBAC binding, our rule bindings for the
Yeah.
user?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So we should have a cluster rule binding.
No, of course we're not allowed to do anything, right?
Oops, sorry. I dual typing.
Short form. Okay. Anyways.
Let's look at this deployment we've got. Let's see.
Yeah, you see that they didn't touch the deployment, right? The deployment is still the original one 6 days ago. It's really just the replica set. Right? Aren't you rude, Lord?
There is a yeah. I was just Duffie taught me this command, and he's also just been very kind enough to put it here. The off can I. Let's see. So should those be stars? Or is blank also a star? Oh no, wait, we've only got get list watch in all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aha. Get rules. Okay, something. Let's. I will not be beaten by geese. So. So do not touch the admin conf. Let's check the API server configuration. Aha. The plot thickens. So there must be something here that is modifying the way.
Node RBAC looks okay. Allow privilege. Do we have any PSPs? Well, I mean, the image doesn't look very trustworthy, does it now? I mean,
how did I miss that?
I mean, don't take it personally, Duffie, but right? Yeah, maybe let's replace that with a proper, like, upstream, clean, real API server.
Yeah.
Again,
I actually don't know what that is off the top of my head, to be fair. Kubernetes.
Probably kube-API server, but you probably need the full URL. Sneaky bastard, huh? Replacing the API server there.
I'm going to assume it's going to be the one with the most. No, it's not the one with the most downloads. Oh, maybe it's just not on Docker Hub. Let's check the. Oh no. What would our API server be? I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. IP address from the other cluster. That's what it's coming to. Okay, so let me just do this quickly. ESH. Kubernetes manifests kube API. The image is, there we go. And let's go back to our shared terminal. We can fix it here. Okay.
Cool. Now.
Running for 62 minutes, so kill -1, not 9.
So Duffie says the rest is fine, which means we should not trust him and double check everything else. Like that's just me being paranoid.
Okay, so we've replaced the image, and what you were trying to do prior to that was delete this new replica set.
Right, in the hope that still forbidden. Nice. Did it pick it up? Are we running the new API server?
The SegHub might have just.
I was looking at the chat. I didn't follow along if you actually applied that.
Well, I modified the manifest and I sent a SegHub to the API server, but that one actually worked because the SegHub to the API server.
Can we just do a PS and see? Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it's there, but it's just a binary name. I don't even know if it's using the right image. Now, when we try and speak to the API server, we could be getting thrown to a different machine. So I guess we're going to have to SSH onto the other ones and fix the image there too. So let me grab the IP addresses. Okay, so SSH root port 22 and then Kubernetes manifests API server. Did he change them all? Did they change them all? Sorry, I forget you're a team. It's just because Duffie's commenting. Copy that.
Good.
Okay. Let's restart this one.
Yeah, why not?
One more tab, and we need to do the other control plane node.
Now we also found a subtitle for Klustered. It's the Sledgehammer Parade. All right.
Manifest, kube, API server, image, delete, and copy the image name. There we go.
This proves it again. Kubernetes engineers are YAML engineers.
Okay. Hopefully that SegHub. I'm not entirely sure that SegHub is actually doing an image pool, but we can run a get rs. Must be the wrong one. Wrong one. Oh no, it's in teleport.
No, yeah.
Delete rs. No. Okay, so that SegHub might not actually be pulling or switching the image. It could just be restarting the process. William suggests let's try running the off again. Good idea. We still got get list watch. So let's assume the hypothesis here is that the SegHub hasn't changed the image.
Delete, right? We don't have delete. That's why we can't delete it. Right? We only have get list watch. That much.
Duffie told us to look in this file again. There's quite a blatant hint.
Wow.
Okay, so
I knew they are mean, but
what we want to do is check our kubelet configuration and see if the static manifest path has been changed. Let's look at the kubelet conf. There won't be anything in there actually, that was silly. So we need to look in the flags and maybe this configuration. Or if I, is it this one? I don't know. I'll just check them all. You fail. All right, next. This one. Manifests. Nope. All right, let's check the flags, etc. Default. Was it not there? Oh, varlib.
It's probably
Nothing. Where would the static manifest? Where's that path configured? Must be one of those files we've looked in. Let's run a status on our kubelet. Using this service file. Oh wait, there's logs there too. I feel like I'm chasing my tail.
Brent just pointed out container path looked off. Okay.
All right, so did I miss that in the configs?
I certainly missed it. Whatever. Let's make.
I searched for
Yeah.
manifest. I should have set for static. Okay. Right, well, we've already updated the image, and I don't want to have to do that again. So I'm going back to this.
Yeah. Kudos to Eagle Eye. Was it Brent? Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, and then we will need to restart the kubelet because of that. We have a new API server. We still have no permissions. And do we have a new API server? Is that 19 seconds or 19 minutes?
That's
19 minutes. Okay.
That's still the old one, right? 1805. That was the old one, yeah. Yeah, that looks better. All right, let's give it another try. Nope.
I guess we're going to have to update them all. I love how it keeps, on my actual SSH session, it keeps sending me messages.
Well, you're
what was that file called? It was the varlib
okay.
kubelet. Okay.
Thanks, Noah.
No, wrong one.
Noah. Yeah.
Config, static. Oh, that one's okay. Vim var the kubelet config, static. Yep, that one's broken.
Yeah.
I am not frustrated. No, I definitely am. It's like, I think every time someone has broken a cluster, they have, like, maybe it's just me, right? But I don't think I would break all the control plane nodes. I think I would be more forgiving than that. But everyone that's been on it as a breaker has been so consistent in their breaks.
Mean.
Yeah, they are mean, aren't they? Kubernetes manifest. Okay.
Hang on. No, that's 006. Okay.
I will earn this beer. All right. Okay. All those cubelets are.
Oh, you mean the help? Okay. All right. Let's see how that goes.
Oh yeah, one of the machines. Those are Justin's wall commands. Okay, so one of my machines.
Now I got it as well.
All right. Well, hopefully that's them all fixed. I don't even know anymore. What day is it? So API server. Okay, so let me just close that O3. Like, go away.
Yes.
Config. Let's try from another machine and see if we're getting a little bit better success. Off, can I list? No, we're still getting the same thing across them all. So even though we have a new API server with the correct manifests,
it looks like. Nothing but love or heart. Heart. Is that a hint? Duffie said he has nothing but heart or love. I don't know which it is for you. So I'm not sure if that's a hint.
Yeah, it's not there. Just making sure it wasn't overridden on the command line args or something.
So we're still trying to figure out if we're actually talking with clean API servers, right?
I think something. Yeah, the API server, not the kubelet. So
You need to head the output. Which output? Oh, which output? There's an additional role that gives you view, but we do view, right? Oh.
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 Oh, so okay, now I get it. Yeah, okay.
Gotcha. So
do we think this is going to work? Hey!
Yay.
Confusing ourselves there by not viewing the top of the can I output.
Yeah, so he can be kind. Thank you. Yes, they are right, Ian. It's your combined evilness. It's not just individuals, right? Yes. All right, so we have deleted it.
Conquer making us sweat.
Again? Right, did it come up again?
Okay, so let's do get service, port forward. Oh no, why am I doing this here? 006 export kube config port forward WordPress. Do I at least have my normal WordPress back?
Yes. Let's see.
No.
Nope. Oh, of course not. That would have been too easy, huh?
Why not? Oh no, because it's scaled down. They edited the deployment, didn't they? Deployment. No. Edit, deploy, WordPress. Replicas 1. Okay, so I guess we can just make an artificial change. Oh no, we can just fix the actual image. WordPress. I can't remember if that's the right image. Let's find out. We got a new replica set. Desired is 1. That should be pulling the image. I'm confident. Hopefully. I I guess I should confirm the image is definitely called WordPress. In fact, I have it locally. We deploy workload. It's automated here.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, I agree with them.
Whoa, why is it trying to open it? Ugh. Computers just... I just hate them.
Yeah. I can totally agree.
All right. Did I set the image to the right thing? Yeah, close enough. Yeah, okay, so I think the problem is something else. So we do got RS.
Yeah, that's definitely... Oh, hang on.
I'm going to set the pull policy to always in case they've messed with something there too.
Okay.
And I'm going to set the replicas to 2 just to force it. So how do we think this is going?
Awesome.
All right, so something is wrong. Scribe, deploy, WordPress. We've got our scaling events.
But there are no pods, right? Oh, you're on the...
Yeah, we're not getting any pods. I think we need to take a look at the kubelet logs.
Do you think that they maybe even replace the controller manager? Maybe? Screwing with the replica set? Shall we have a look?
Well, we got a few errors here, but I'm now at this stage of delusion of debugging this that I have no idea what is a real symptom and what is what is noise.
Well... Okay, we take hint.
What's going on here?
What turns a replica set into pods? Well, deployments, for example, right? So, but we looked at the deployment,
Well,
right?
we're not getting any pods showing up, so...
Right, but I guess what Duffie hinted at was that there's something wrong with the deployment. That's my interpretation.
Should we get the logs on the controller manager? I guess.
I think he literally meant just the WordPress deployment, right?
No, I think we've fixed that bit. I think we have a replica set that's being created. I think then the controller manager's not able or not doing something with that to create the pods.
Okay, let's test that hypothesis then.
But why is it cube system get pods logs -f? Why did that not get any logs? Oh, there we go. Okay, we do have a problem.
Okay, so cool.
We get a connection refused when the controller manager is trying to speak to. Okay, so cannot get resource endpoints.
Right. But that looks more like an RBAC issue, no?
So I think let's take a look at the Cube Controller Manager. Get deploy. Oh, it's a static manifest, isn't it? Yeah, what's they changed here?
Look
They
look
changed
out
here.
for honks. Right? Always look out for honks. That would have been too easy. The image looks okay.
Sick honker off my Christmas card list from now on.
Okay, so Duffie said nothing wrong with the controller manager permissions or binary. Okay. Well, that's good and bad. Right. Deployment controller, replica set controller. So, but the replica set controller is part of the controller manager, right?
It is, yeah. As far as I know.
So those controllers, though, yeah, bad controllers. What are we looking at? User system cube controller manager cannot get resource endpoint.
This beer was supposed to be a victory beer. Now it's a consolidation beer.
I like
Yes, Ian, I will get you a card for all major holidays.
So let's get back to the replica set controller. What?
What's this star?
I do not know.
I mean, should we even be overriding the controllers? If I had to move that, is it going to default to something sensible? Will we comment it out and see what happens?
Sure, Kubernetes has absolutely same default. Why not?
I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, it's worse than I guess now, to be honest. All right, let's see. Where's our controller manager? It has been running. Right, okay, it's been restarted now. So, do we have any pods? No.
Wait. Oh, that's my SQL one.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we don't have sensible defaults here. Oh, wait.
So
It's a dash replica set.
it's so small, I cannot. Oh, I can actually look
So
at
does
it
that
here,
mean
right?
don't run the replica set controller? I've never used that syntax before. Did it restart yet?
Don't know off the top of my head if that is the case.
Oh, now I don't have a controller manager. Oh, no, it's back. Okay. Do I have pods? Oh. Maybe it's just not ready yet. I was so sure that was going to be it.
Yeah, let's follow valid advice regarding the manifest. Let's go back to the manifest and double check again. The options there.
Yeah, I don't like that star. Or should it all be star?
You know what? Let's have a look at the actual docs. I was told that this is a lot of fun. Let me have a look at the reference here. Kubernetes. That's the control manager.
Oh, yeah. Star is a sensible default. Okay, so a list of controllers to enable start enables all on by default controllers. Foo enables controller foo. Dash foo disables foo. Okay, let's go with. Oh, so if we. Right, got it. So by setting any of them here except for just star, although we deleted it, so the default should have been.
Yeah, just do star, which is the default, which means all, right? That's what the docs say.
I guess this may not be the active control plane controller, so I really need to do this on the other two machines as well.
Right.
Which is probably why in fact, removing it should run the default. And I think the reason I never got the default behavior when I tested it last time was purely because it wasn't the leader. So that's JG. This is 6W, which means I need to get onto the machine. Let me look over here. P, which is this one.
Yeah, I know, William. It almost feels like cheating, right? Looking at the docs and actually RTFM, reading the fine manual. I know.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I'm not sure how long I would have given that before I caved in and finally reached for the docs. I should just get in the habit of doing that sooner. All right. All of our controller managers should hopefully have restarted. And I'm going to assume the default should be okay. So K get pods.
Duffie asks, how many controller managers do you have? Well, how many do we need?
I wonder how far behind the comments are. I feel like they're giving me advice right after I say something.
Timestamp looks okay.
Oh, wait. Controller manager. Okay. 32. Ta-da!
Well done. Great job, David.
Phew.
Well, let's not we're not yet allowed to grab a pint because we want to see if we have been de-honked, right? Duffie, I'm not that sure if I agree. There you go. That's what's first. But is it? Right, is it?
Oh, I don't think.
1%. Okay. Let's move on to the next.
I think that's it.
I bet that you folks have a lot of fun seeing us sweating here our pants. For how are we doing time wise?
Oh, I didn't realize it was still dark in my room.
Oh, damn it. Let me quickly. All
right, Sick Honk, please let us know if we got everything there. Is there anything else we need to look at? Oh, no, Michael, you've got a hard stop. I'm sorry. We went 3 minutes over.
I just so that we can wrap up.
All right, so let's. Those were 2 great clusters there.
Right.
I think we had a very varied set of problems there. I'm not sure we fixed everything on Justin's cluster. I'm looking forward to reading the Ansible playbook and compiling that postmortem together to really show what happened and how to fix it. It looks like we have some sort of weird discrepancy between what's happening on the teleport SSH versus the standard SSH. So something.
I just say hi to Bartek, who was so kind joining us now. So I'll be over in a moment. That was really fun. Thanks a lot. That I definitely learned a lot, like especially how mean people can be. So thank you very much. And hope it was useful and fun for others as well. I certainly had fun.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin, Team Sick Honk, and Michael for joining me today. It's so challenging being on this side. Like you were so calm. I don't know how you just keep so collected through that. Like inside my head, I am literally screaming all the worst words in the world to our breakers. So, but I learned stuff today about some of the configuration and stuff, and that's the point of this. So thank you to our breakers. We're all learning together and hopefully having some fun while we do it. Michael, thank you again for spending this session with me, and I will speak to you soon. And thanks to everyone who joined in. I've not seen who won the t-shirt yet, but whoever it was, congratulations. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye now.